All right, hey everybody. Somebody asked a great question that I've been wanting to get to, so we're gonna cover it today. And what I want to talk about is race starts. So what this means is there are strategies and ways, and sorry, this is crooked. There are strategies and ways that you can basically get the rowing machine to start going and moving. There we go. To start going and moving from a dead stop. So when we're not on the rowing machine, it's considered on a dead stop right now. The fan wheel's not moving. There's no air coming through it. If you're on a water machine, there's basically nothing has started getting that water moving. Nothing's happening. So what you want to do is be able to efficiently get the machine from a dead stop up to what your pace would be for an entire piece as fast as you can. That's the goal of a race start. Now there are so many different strategies for this. So you can take it in different ways. There's a kind of an easier way and a harder way. There's different strategies in a boat versus on a machine, because the goal is really about getting it up to the speed that you're going to be going, so that you don't feel, if you've ever picked up that handle, or every time you row and you grab that handle and that first or second stroke is like, hey, this feels really heavy, it feels really hard. That's what we're trying to get moving as fast as we can. So you might have heard me talk about the stroke, how there's different components to the stroke. There's the, hey, I'm going to go legs, core, arms, core, legs. But something I don't talk about as much is the slide, which is basically the slide length is how much your seat is moving. So on the machine, this is the slide. So how far back is the slide moving? So let's say when I'm full and my legs are straight, this would be my full slide. Now we want to break it down into components. So this is me all the way with my legs straight. I'm at the back end position. And then this is the front catch. So this would be a 100% full slide. Now I'm going to break it up into a half slide. A half slide would be halfway to the full, and my knees are still bent, I'm not quite there, I still have some ways to go. And then a quarter slide would be half of that, so this would be my quarter slide, this would be my half slide, then we have a 3/4 slide. 3/4 full, so it's how far is the slide moving back in that push on the drive. So quarter, half, 3/4 full. So there's different strategies and ideas that you can do for this. On the water, there's people that do a 5-stroke where they'll do a quarter, half, 3/4 full. They'll do a quarter, half, 3/4 full. There's a lot of different strategies that you can use. There's even 3-stroke ones. So for my people who I train to do 2Ks at the indoor rowing competitions, especially, so I train a lot of CrossFitters to go do that, and I'll teach them a 3-stroke start. So I'll do let's say a half, a 3/4, a full, or a 4-stroke one. Or maybe we'll do a really common one is 3/4, half, 3/4. I find that a lot of people, especially if you're new to trying this, struggle to go from 3/4 to then less, which would be half. So I like to start small and constantly work your way up. So half, 3/4 full is a great 3-stroke one, or you could go with a 4-stroke. Half, 3/4, 3/4, full. So it's really about playing around with those, understanding the concept of it, playing around with it, and finding what works for you. Now the biggest thing about this is if you watch people on a rowing machine do this, you might find that they just get on the machine, and because they aren't going back as far, all their form goes to heck. So they end up going like this, machine, but I haven't actually done a stroke component. So there's strategies you could do for that as well. I'm not saying that that is bad. You could do like I'm gonna go half, I'm gonna go 3/4, I'm gonna go full, but that's putting a lot more strain on your back. And if you were to relate that to rowing on the water, you can't actually do that because the oar will be stuck in the water the entire time. You never had a chance to lift it up. So usually what we do when we do these strokes is it's still a full stroke in terms of your upper body, but it is just less in how far you're going back. So let me kind of show you what it looks like. I'm going to do a half, 3/4 full because I think that that's a good starting point for people is a 3-stroke one. But you're basically starting at the front. This is my catch. This is my full slide. So I'm going to go halfway, then I'm going to go 3/4, then I'm going to go full. But I'm still going to do the other part. So this is the one time where I normally say, hey, I don't want you to do your core and your arms until your knees are straight. Race starts are where that kind of goes out the window a little bit. So because there's no way for me, if I'm at half slide, to get my knees fully straight, but I still need to finish the stroke. And that's why I consider this a little bit more of an advanced technique. Don't quite do this if you're brand new to rowing, but I did want to cover it in case you guys wanted that, and so that I have it. So when you're at the catch, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you what it looks like. Again, I'm going to do 3-stroke, half, 3/4, full, but we're still going to be moving our core and our arms in when we're doing this. So it's going to be half, 3/4, full. And now on that race, now you can see on the last stroke, my fan wheel didn't have to go up. It sounded the same as my 3rd stroke that I did. And that's the point. So however many strokes you can get it in, your goal is to, as fast as possible, get that machine up to where you're going to be for rowing. So that's one thing that you want to do. I'll show it to you again in a second. After you get that race start component, there's something called a power 10 or a power 5 or a power 3. Basically power and then a number. And what it means is when we talk about rowing and really exploding and pushing with those legs, think about when you're doing a 2K and you're 750 meters in and you're like, oh my God, I'm dying. I'm not even halfway there. And you might realize that your numbers are going up because you're not exploding through your legs as well as you might have been at the very beginning of your race. So you do a power something, so let's say a power 10, that'd be 10 strokes of really focusing and remembering, explode, push with your legs to get through. So we call those power 10s or power something. And you can do those throughout your race, but the reason I say it for the racing starts for this video is when you're doing a racing start, it's really common for you to do a 3 or a 5-stroke start and then do a power 10 to really get yourself in the groove and going, and then you use like that last stroke or two to settle down into whatever it is. So you want to go immediately from your power 10 to a settle rate. So let's say I'm going, race starts are usually really fast, so my stroke rating is higher, like 30s or 28 or above. Sometimes they're like 40s, but 28 or above, they're fast, they're really quick, right? So you get your power 10, so you do your, let's say we're doing that 3-race start. So we're doing 3 strokes, a power 10, so we're at 13 strokes. On stroke number 14, and I know I misspoke earlier in this, I'm sorry. At stroke number 14, you are immediately setting down from, let's say, a 30 to whatever you're going to be doing for that rest of your piece. Maybe that's 30 to 22 or 30 to 26, whatever your pace is going to be. that stroke rating is going to be, you immediately settle into that, and you settle into the pace that you're going to keep throughout the entire race. So I'll show you what it looks like really quick with a power 5 after my 3 strokes. So you sit ready at the catch, so it's ready, and then you have a ready and then a set and go. So you go ready, attention, row. So ready, attention, row. So I went straight from A, so that was not perfect. My power was at a 36, and I went to 29 and then 27. Sorry, 27 and then 25. So it's learning to finesse that end, so you go immediately into the slow stroke rating to whatever it is that you want to do your piece at. So that's a race start. I hope that helps. Let me know if you've got more questions on it. Let me see if you guys have any questions. Hey, Angel, thanks for joining. So if you guys don't have questions, no worries. If you do, let me know. I'll hop on and talk about it. I wanted to do this early because the person who asked this, it's Happy Hour Wednesday, really early in the morning, but I wanted to do it because the person who asked this is in a time zone, I think 7 or 8 hours ahead of me. So I wanted to make sure she had an answer on the same day she asked. So sorry for being early. Hope that helps. That's what a race start is and the point of it. As you can see, there's a lot of variation in it. So it's choosing what components, hey, Biscuit, my dog's causing trouble. It's choosing the components of it that work for you. Is it doing it in 3 strokes? Is it doing it in 5 strokes? What works for you? But you're still keeping that entire stroke as you go. And mine probably wasn't perfect. I don't do race starts super often unless I'm doing an actual like piece. And I don't usually do a 3. I usually do a 4 stroke one. So picking what's comfortable for you. A good beginner one is 3 half slide, 3/4 slide, full slide, and usually that's enough to get you up. This doesn't need to be complicated. It really is just about getting everything moving really quickly. I really hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, hit that subscribe button. Let me know that you're watching. If you have questions, just comment, let me know. I will often either make a video responding or respond in the comments for you, depending on which is better. Also, come join the Facebook group where you can ask your questions and I make a video for you. It's Keep Rowing Longer if you're a beginner rower, and it's Level Up Rowing if you're an advanced rower. And it's Facebook groups. The links are in the description. Come join us. And we're also doing rowing workouts twice a week right now. Beginner rowing workouts for you guys. We're doing them live twice a week. Come join in the Keep Rowing Longer group.